communication, the physical layer, the hardware design part, and how they are physically placed part plays a vital role in managing the power. In the very same way, in managing the mobility plane, like as I've already discussed about the dynamic clustering part, some of the nodes are getting added, some of the nodes they are getting removed from the clusters, another new nodes are added, and the communication part is getting continuous. So the mobility management also depends on all these layers and the task management plane. Now the task management plane is exclusively depend on the application part, application based. Possible research areas. Now, to analyze the existing conventional routing protocols in different environment. Now, as we have discussed, possible research area. Now, the PhD students and the faculty members, those who are interested in this particular routing protocol methods, they can try to work towards this power management, the mobility management, task management, based on the routing protocols to successfully use an appropriate hybrid routing protocols. Now, I've seen many different papers, for example, Leech, SEP, Team. So they all are routing protocols, and how the researchers they are trying to implement some more algorithms with that existing routing protocol. For example, there are papers where the authors have they have introduced vector quantization method, Euclidean distance method. They are the signal processing methods which are used to find out the shortest distance. So how that particular algorithms has been implemented hybrid with Leech protocol, with SCP protocol, towards routing of wireless sensor network. So this is again one of the very useful research area. And one more, to design a system that have maximum efficiency over the wireless shared channel with minimum energy consumption by developing novel algorithm using simulation part. Now, this is a mixed research area where the researchers can use the concept of routing or the concept of networking protocols and can try to implement that particular protocol in physical layer. So the concept of leaks, the concept of SCP, or the concept of other available routing protocol, basically they are routing protocol. Now, since they are routing protocol, they deal with the packets, they deal with like how the data rates and all. But the researchers they can take the advantage of that particular algorithm and try to implement that in the physical layer. When I'm talking about implementing in physical layer, there are different parameters that are involved in the physical layer communication. So starting with the spatial distributed, there ADC, DAC part, and etc. Routing protocol. Okay, we have discussed this. Okay, these are some of the routing protocol we are having. Now, let us discuss the let us discuss the hierarchical cluster-based routing protocol. In this particular particular clustering method, it reduces the number of nodes taking part in the transmission of data to the data sync, useful energy consumption, scalability, reduces communication. Now, let us discuss some of the very important gist about the clustering methods. Now, since we are having clustering methods, the cluster initially, when the clustering methods and wireless sensor network they were introduced, so the researchers they were trying to use a fixed design. For example, as we know that in cellular communication, the design of this mobile cells, they are hexagon in nature, but that is theoretically. Now, practically, if you see the cellular networks, the cells are not hexagonal in shape. Rather than their shapes are quite arbitrary and dynamic in nature. So, in the very same way, the clustering, the shape of the clustering, the size of the clustering, that completely depends on the number of nodes, the spatial distribution, the spatial distances among the nodes, how the nodes are communicating with each other, or we can try to implement some of the concepts of routing protocol. For example, if some of the nodes are not necessary, so we are trying to declare that as dead nodes, or or as a sleep nodes, and based on that again we are trying to design the cluster. Now there may be various type of cluster methods that are available, already existing models are available, and nowadays the trend is to design the clustering methods using artificial intelligence and deep learning. Like you will find some of the very good papers where the researchers, they are using deep learning and different Firefly algorithm for designing dynamic clusters. Now this the clustering method is one of the very important part when we're talking about IoT and IoT, because IoT is almost it is having it consists of different wireless sensor networks spread in different areas, doing like dealing with particular application. But at this very same time, they are connected with the clouds, or they are connected with the edge, specifically for edge computing and fog computing, and collaboratively they are communicating with each other. Now that is where the clustering takes a major role when the number of nodes are getting varied. There is a continuous movement of cluster head, or there is a continuous movement of the number of nodes. So how to deal with that? So that is why the clustering method plays a vital role. Okay, IoT and IoT. Now, basically, IIoT, industrial IoT, or Industry 4 is one of the subset of IoT. IoT is a very bigger term, and specifically when we're using IoT for industrial purpose, in layman's language, we call it as IIoT, industrial IoT, Industry 4.0 also. Now, there are different applications of IoT as well in different sector. For example, in agricultural, agri IoT, we are having IOMT, and nowadays for this COVID and pandemic reason, the researchers they are rushing towards IOMT, Internet of Medical Things. Now we are also having Internet of Nano Things and so on. Now when we're talking about this Internet of Medical Things, so nowadays there is again one more trend is going on, that is edge computing and fog computing. So in edge computing and fog computing, we are trying to use the part of AI, the part of machine learning in the edge of the devices. Now, how it is useful in IoT and IoT, we'll discuss in the later slide. But in brief, I would like to share, like in IoT, we have industrial IoT devices. For example, different machinery, different automation machineries, in specific different movable devices and movable sensor networks. So there, if we are having the intelligence in their edge, or we are trying to create a fog network based on that. So with that, the computation part, the computation flexibility will be quite more as compared with the traditional wireless sensor network. So this is where the edge computation and the fog computation comes into play. Although there lies some of the disadvantages with edge and fog computing when we are dealing with IoT, and that is the amount of information stored in fog or edge temporarily, or in a prior basis. So that part is very limited. So researchers are trying to figure it out with deep learning process to fuse more information in that. Okay, IoT and IIoT. So how they evolve? IoT for home apply this home applications, for smart city application, smart logistics, smart parking, etc. And industrial IoT, basically for different industrial sectors, starting from the manufacturing sector to the production, and all that, testing revolution in short. First generation industrial revolution, second, third, and this one is industrial revolution 4.0. IoT background. Now, I'll go through the years: 1784, 1870, 1969, and right now we are dealing with Industry 4.0. Basically, Industry 4.0, the smart industry is a subset of Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 is a very big term where IIoT comes into play, and trying to solve the Industry 4.0 issues and trying to make it smart. So IIoT is a tool which we are using for Industry 4.0 to deal with cyber physical systems, Internet of Things network, and other applications for industrial purposes. Yeah, this is interesting from monetary point of view. Now, $6 trillion will be spent on IoT solution till 2020, and some of the business investment right now they are going on. Okay, so here I would like to discuss one more topic, that is fintech. Now, I hope you have heard about the fintech part, fintech company. No, fintech, they are also dealing with the IoT and IIoT part. Now, fintech company, what they are doing is they are trying to do the banking smart. So smart banking, smart financial solutions. So they're trying to implement it in IoT and IIoT using fintech. That is one of that is again one of the trending research topics. Roadmap. Automation systems. This is system design and this is the software design. Now, in software design, again, basically we are having the computation part, while as in the system design we are having the communication part. Now, the researchers or the faculties, those who are interested solution, they can choose the communication part or the software design part. Now, this part is mainly used for software defined networking or software defined radio part. This part is used for the communication part, which is almost close to the devices, the networking part. Smart logistics in a nutshell. We are having data, product, innovation, supply chain, smart manufacturing. Now, how the smart manufacturing is getting involved in IoT, IoT application, smart manufacturing. These are the cloud services. Now, there's one important thing. Now, in edge computation, in fog computation, the devices or the sensor no the sensor networks, they need not to be connected to the cloud always. Rather, they are having some of the minimum information with which they can process, or they can do the sensing part and analyzing part based on that. Now, if in IoT applications we are using edge or computation part, this cloud services becomes an optional part, and the rest will have parameters for smart manufacturing, connectivity, AI, platform app applications, and consistent services. IoT connectivity, range versus speed. Particularly for this IoT part, industrial IoT part, we are using this LPWAN and LoRa. IoT connectivity, range versus power. Now, this is very important for IoT part. Now, in low power wide area network, we are having data throughput, high sensitivity, long range. Now, these particular specifications are for the sensors and for the sensor network that are designed exclusively for IoT purposes, where we want a low power consumption along with wide area network, long range. Of course, the cost should be low. LPWA. Now, slowly, if you follow the white papers and 3GPP protocols, so there you will find right now. There are many protocols and there are many white papers based on LPWA, where different scientists and different inventors, they are trying to introduce the physical specification, the communication specification based on the LPWA, like how the sensor networks in IoT, if they're using LPWA, they should behave. These are some of the LPWA technologies. Narrowband IoT we are having here. Protocols and architecture. This part we have already discussed. Edge side, cloud side. IoT cloud platform. There are multiple IoT platforms are available in internet, as well as some of the cloud services. Right now, they are dealing with IoT as well. I'll show you that. Yeah, this one. Now, this is exclusively an example of cloud vendor providing IoT solutions, IoT simulation and analytics solution using cloud. So here, I've taken the slide from Microsoft Azure. Here they are using Microsoft Azure IoT platform to deal with industrial IoT cloud analytics part, industrial IoT consumer IoT part. This example everyone almost know about the smart parking part. So here I did not to explain that in much. We are having different lights. The vehicles they are accredited with different sensors. We are having the parking gate with the sensors, the vacant place. So how the sensors are getting sensed, and how when a new vehicle is trying to come in a parking slot, how it is getting an information like in which parking area or the which parking ID is right now it is vacant. So accordingly, the driver moves in that way. Smart logistics. Some of the examples, these are some of the physical examples where IoT has been implemented. We are having different sensors. The sensors are connected with these hardware devices to find out its vibration or the other parameters. And the maintenance engineers, they can use this sensors to trying to figure it out and trying to use the data, like after how much time the device needs maintenance, or and what is the present scenarios real time. Deployment architecture. Now, as we have discussed earlier, this is the LoRa protocol, Lorentz protocol. Now, how they're using, how they're connecting with the different devices and the gateway accordingly, and finally the network server applications and so on. Now, this part is basically the edge side. In IoT, we are using this particular edges. For example, this might be a sensor that we are using to find the temperature. This particular sensors, we're trying to find out the vibration. This particular sensor for any other applications. Now, since it is on the edge side, there may be certain chances that the sensor is already having some prerequisite information which it is processing earlier before sending the data or before communicating using Wi-Fi or cellular network. And based on the local information storage on the edge, they are processing it. Some of the interesting research areas with this: digital connected factory, facility management, production flow monitoring, quality control, packaging optimization, logistics, supply chain optimization. Now, basically, these are the problems